Like I said at the beginning of my presentation, I speak oftentimes, and when I'm not on stage, I will be helping NBC, MTV, and doing a lot of things online. I got my start speaking professionally when I was only 17 years old. And because I was so young, a lot of groups actually were very nervous to hire me, quite frankly, because I looked so young. And so what I did at the time is I started to develop a series of websites where students can go for help because they didn't need to see my face to get the help that they needed. And so I'm going to show you just a few things in regards to how we can help students online. Because again, if our goal is to help healthy students become successful students, and the key phrase being successful students, I think it's best for me to show you the way that we can keep them successful again at home online and how you can help them from home. And I will warn you when we get to online stuff, some of this might be shocking to you students, some of you might know some of this. I guarantee you though you do not know all of this. And I promise you that nothing here is exaggerated. This is all completely factual. If anything, it's probably outdated information. That is my warning to you. First off, when I ask what social networks are your students a member of, I'm willing to bet it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, possibly ask.fm, and a couple of others. Not very many, maybe 5 or 6 that you know of. We all know what Twitter is, we all know what Facebook is, we all know what Instagram is. But a lot of people would be really interested to know that there are over 64 that are widely used. And that's 64 out of the 673 that are available. And I know it's hard to see, but they're all different types, whether it's simply about sharing. This would be sharing videos on YouTube, sharing pictures, whether it's discussing things in chat rooms, social networking such as Facebook, what MySpace used to be, Twitter and other groups, whether it's live streaming things, and this is actually a little bit outdated. I'm even seeing some that should be on there. These are all social media sites that your students are a part of. Not that every single one is a member of every single site, that's not the case at all. But I'd be willing to bet that, if, for example, in the 2 schools I went to, I could find at least 1 student per every site easily. And so it's incredible to see the ways in which your students are putting themselves out there online, because every single one of your students, and you for that matter, are all creating every single time you step online what's called a digital profile. It was this old kind of wise man's tale that right when the internet started, like, oh, if I put something online, it'll stay there forever. It's totally true. And while it was once this thing like, well, everything I put on there stays there forever, now I can purchase it, which is the difference. Colleges, universities can purchase your son or daughter's digital profile for about 14 bucks. That's all it costs. You can go online right now and buy one. For me, it's called the Negativity Report for $14. What it does, and there are a number of companies that do it, is they can go right now and they can find every single negative word, every single slur, every single anything that can be related to negativity that I have ever posted online, purely based on my name associated with it, the IP address that my computer comes from, and every email I've used. I simply give them my name and where I live, and they will do the rest for $14. And colleges, universities are actually using these digital profiles to decide whether or not they find your student to be a good fit for their campus. Army, Navy, they've all started using this as well to make sure that students that they're having come in wouldn't be a threat, so they can get extra information. Again, $14, all it costs, which is a clear cry to us to be able to monitor what we say online. Next are web crawlers, and if you thought that a digital profile was bad, these are a little bit worse. Web crawlers are web-based software that comes to the web to create a personal profile of your activity. I can go right now on my computer. I can do it on my phone, actually. I downloaded the app before I came here. I can go right now on a number of sites. These are some popular web crawlers. I can go on any of these right now. I can find out for any of your names how you voted in the last 4 elections, the church you go to, how you spend your money, what you spend it on, what car you drive, how much you spend on gas every single year. I can find out how many dogs you own, if they're treated well in terms of the immunizations they've received, if they're registered or not, your last few addresses, how much your home is worth, if you use a security system, what security system you use. I can find out absolutely anything I want to know about you. This costs about 55 bucks. 55 bucks, I can find out anything I'd ever want to know about you or your son or your daughter, which is pretty incredible. And so it's funny, whenever I give this information, there's 2 responses. First response being, I don't believe it. If you don't believe it, please go on spokeo.com tonight and search your own name. It will give you part of the information for free. And the second response I get is, how in the world do I take this off? And so don't worry, I will help you. There are a few websites: claim.io, reputation.com, metalrabbitmedia.com, integritydefenders.com. Each of these websites are out there, and it's incredible when you look at pros and cons. There's a lot more that are out there to harm you than there are to help you, which is a little bit sad. But these websites will help you to protect yourself and, more importantly, protect your son or daughter online. First and foremost is claim.io. What that does, I showed you that infographic that has all the social media sites that your students can possibly use. I told you there are over 600 others that they can be a part of. Claim.io, for a very, very, very small fee, will go on and create a profile on all 600 and some odd websites for your son or daughter. That way nobody creates a fake profile under their name. Nobody says anything negative under their name. And if anything comes up, it will notify you and allow you to delete it before it becomes a part of that permanent profile. Pretty awesome. Reputation.com and Integrity Defenders. Metal Rabbit Media does something a little bit different, but all along the same lines. Basically what they do is they give you that report for you, that negativity report. And then, depending on what you see, gives you the opportunity through a few kind of legal loopholes to go online, because every website has the ability for you to not share information. But when you press that accept under the end user agreement, whether it's for downloading an update on your phone or doing anything on a computer, you've given them the ability to sell that content. But you can go ahead and revoke that. And these three websites give you a very easy means to do so, basically helping to protect your son, your daughter online. And so again, I wanted to give you that online information for a very specific reason. If we're helping to make students successful, we need to make sure they're protected. And again, as everyone, I would say if there's two for you to remember, and they're very easy to remember, would be claim.io and reputation.com, and simply go home tonight. Search yourself on Spokio, see what comes up, and see if you think if you're willing to do something about it. Because again, I guarantee you that a lot of the information you will find will be quite eerie of how much they know, just simply based on what you've put online at various points in time.